Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village Project. It is imperative that you stop wearing a mask whenever possible. If you are wearing a mask, you need to stop. If you don't believe in it, you need to stop doing things you don't believe in and stop following absurdities and tyrannical laws. This is very hard to do if you're anything like me. I empathize a lot because I am very non-confrontational. I don't like making a fuss. I don't want to be that guy, and they know that. The powers that shouldn't be that are running this show, they are very aware, and that's why they put out all this propaganda about Karens. You don't want to be a Karen, do you? Don't make a fuss. Don't be a Karen. Don't be that lady that's always calling the manager. Just take whatever tyranny, whatever medical device we want to put on your body against your will. You just shut up and take it, and don't make a fuss. Otherwise, you're a Karen. That's the mentality, right? Well, it's time to start standing up, and you don't need to be a Karen to do so. You can do so politely and respectfully. When I go into, I won't go into any business if I can avoid it that is enforcing these tyrannical laws, that is being the policemen for the government. I won't support their business anymore, and I'll go out of my way and I'll spend much more money to support businesses that do not have mask signs at all. And in doing so, my whole life has improved immeasurably. I've found so many cool businesses, made so many great connections. I'm doing business with more people in my community, and they're supporting my businesses in exchange. And I get way better service, better deals in the long run, better quality things. It's so worth it alone, never mind for the mask reasons. But for when the times come that you do have to go into a Walmart or something, I find it helps me and it helps my anxiety level, which is through the roof, because again, I don't like confrontation. I find it very helpful to have a little speech prepared. So for myself, I usually just say something simple like, I cannot wear one for safety reasons, which is true because there's a direct correlation between increased rates of COVID and mask usage per the CDC themselves, but we'll just ignore that conveniently. So I simply say that, and I've only been confronted a couple of times. And if they continue the confrontation after that, if they say, well, then you can't come in our store or anything like that, then I say, okay, no problem, I'll go take my business elsewhere. And I do. And if it's just an employee that I'm talking to, I make sure that I then reach out to that business, to the management or the owners, and I let them know politely again that I unfortunately cannot go to their business anymore, and that I supported them a lot in the past with my money, and I cannot do so if they're going to act as the police officers for a tyrannical regime. So that kind of takes care of private businesses. So finding that speech, whatever you want to say. Some people say, I have a condition that doesn't allow me to wear a mask. I don't like saying that myself because I don't have a condition. I just won't have a medical device forced onto my body. But that helps a lot of people be able to stand up and stand up for themselves and their freedoms. But let me just reinforce again how imperative it is that we refuse this, because it's not a small thing. It is a small thing, but so was the little yellow patch on the shoulder that made the Jews wear in Germany. It always starts with little innocuous symbols of compliance, and it is a symbol of compliance. Fauci said that openly. He said this is symbolic. Your mask is symbolic that you're a freaking slave. That's what your mask says, because it's absurd, and we all know it's absurd because coronaviruses are incurable. They're here forever. There's no cure for the common cold, and the common cold includes coronavirus. This coronavirus is not magical. It's not different than the other coronaviruses. It's a cold, and vaccines won't stop it, and they never even pretended to say that the vaccine will stop it. They admitted that the vaccine will not prevent you from contracting COVID. It'll give you plenty of nasty side effects, and if you die, most likely your death will be marked as a COVID death. Isn't that convenient? Anyway, you need to be refusing this. When it comes to employers forcing you to wear it, if that's the case, first of all, get out of there. Find an employer that actually cares about your health and then won't subject you to things you don't agree with. Get self-employed. You should be doing that anyway. But secondly, if you have to be at the job for a while, go and talk to human resources or whoever is in charge of that. Let them know, I'm going to keep track in writing of all of these things, saying that I have to wear a mask, and I will be keeping careful track of any medical detriments that happen to me. If I suffer any medical problems because of constant dangerous mask usage, I will be holding the company liable, and then do so. Go get your payday, because eventually there's going to be a slew of lawsuits if the totalitarian regime hasn't completely taken over soon here. But so make sure you're saving that paper trail and let them know you will be holding them liable. Those are just a couple hints. Let me know in the comments your strategies and what you've done to fight back. And it's time to start pushing back, because this is forever. If we don't push back on this little thing, if you can't inconvenience yourself and do a scary confrontation, you're definitely going to just put your neighbor on the boxcar when the time comes. So learn to stand up now while it's easier. Everybody, I hope this is helpful. In the meantime, stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading.